Irish community never really had a business brokerage that was able to talk to them.
There was a need in a specific industry.
You bring in a whole other business, the fixed costs don't have to change that much. You still have your space, you still have your warehouse.
With Swift acquisitions, we're bridging that gap.
You will find a business that fits their needs.
If let's say I want to sell a business, I want to buy a business, why should I choose you? Why?
We believe in appreciating each and every single recruiter that works with the company.
We have a great reach in the market, in these businesses. Mayor has been running Swift Staffing, dealing with so many business owners.
Doe je het bij de monthly training van Swift Staffing, the famous Swift Staffing.
What is going on?
Hi, so we have here Kenzie.
Yep.
I guess I assume a lot of people know you from the expos and the shows and everything.
Yep. 100%.
So, yeah, so I heard that there's great news to Swift Staffing. There's a new division.
Yep.
So let me hear more.
So Swift has been in business for a few years now, has been doing things very successfully, and we just realized that there was a need in a specific industry, right? This industry is an industry that's very lucrative because, again, it's an industry that, again, has millions of different businesses. And again, there's a lot of people who want to exit these businesses. So with Swift acquisitions, we're bridging that gap.
Okay, so let me hear from your perspective. What do you think is the combination of Swift Staffing and the acquisitions?
That's actually a great question. The combination is that a lot of businesses, they can grow in two ways. They can grow either by having the right employees, having the right team, having the right skill set to help scale their operations.
And Swift Staffing is here for that.
Exactly. And Swift Staffing has been doing that at a very high level and have a lot of satisfied clients. Now, the second way is by acquiring businesses, and that's where Swift Acquisitions comes in. We're actually bridging the gap to helping business owners scale their operations and eventually having a successful exit with the business that they grow. Because obviously every single company is going to have an exit plan, and it just determines if you have one prepared and ready to actually exit. So that's what we're doing with that.
Oh wow, very nice. So now we're going to go over to Shimshon. Shimshon is doing business brokerage and acquisitions for quite a few years. And let me hear more.
Yeah, 100%. So Mayor brought me in to help him start with this operation. I've been working in business brokerage for a few years. I find it a fascinating industry, very exciting, a lot of different industries to look at and delve into.
It's good to help people, that's a good feeling.
100% help people, and there's nothing like help somebody who worked all his life, put a lot of sweat, blood, and tears into a company, and they want to exit, they have a successful exit, and they're moving on to something else, which really brings up why somebody would sell a business. Our main client is someone who has worked for a long time, he's in his 60s, he's ready to retire. He's built this business over 30, 40 years, and now he wants to, sail off into the sunset. This is a very, very great way to kind of have a little retirement nest egg, have someone buy you out. You can still work for the company sometimes in a consulting position to, help them, show them the ropes. And then obviously on the other side, the buy side, there's many people that are looking to grow their operations. They have a great market share right now of a certain market, whether it's windows, whether it's in the medical field, and they would love to add more clients, add more market share, and they want to buy a business. They will come in, we will find them a business that fits their needs, whether it's price, size, we'll make the deal worth it for them, and that's the service that we provide.
Very nice. Besides the retirement, what is the other reasons someone should sell a business?
So a few people we met yesterday, we were at a show yesterday dealing with lots of different business owners. A common thing that I heard amongst business owners is the industry that they're in, they're a little bit burnt out. They're stressed out. They're not necessarily 60, they're 30, they're 35, but it's an industry that they're starting to get a little bit bored of, and they feel like they would love to take another step in another direction, but taking another step in another direction is hard. It costs a lot of money to start a business, and this is just a great way to have an investment now to go out into a new venture. So, someone who feels the competition is closing in on him, if he could sell this business to existing competition, they would love to eat him up, take his market share, take his clients. He'll exit with a whole bunch of money. He'll be able to go into a new venture, a new business, and
Oh wow, that's interesting. That a competition should buy different companies in his industry.
100%. Very, very common. That's usually the first place we look when someone wants to sell their business. Someone in the same market than them would love to acquire them. Everybody sees another business in the same industry as a competitor, and if I can take you over, I have your phone number, your email address, and you're getting 1,000 phone calls a year. Those 1,000 phone calls are now coming to me, and it just grows my business, and it's a great way to, continue.
Basically, yeah, it's cheaper than marketing. Basically, buy them off and then.
Yep.
Exactly. You buy them out slowly but surely. You see it in the news with all the big companies. You see these companies like Facebook. In the tech space, it's a very common maneuver to acquire companies that are smaller than them, but they see potential. They see them kind of starting to creep in on their market share or something that they would love to do. The easiest thing to do is buy them out. It's one of the easiest ways to grow is growing by acquisition.
Also, probably you can buy them out when they're still a little small and it's still, let's say, cheap, and then you will grow with it organically.
Yeah, a key metric that you would look at in a business when a business is growing is you have your fixed costs and your variable costs. When you're a business, you generally have fixed costs that are your back office, your rent, or whatever you're paying, and then there's your variable cost, which is your cost per job, which is obviously a lot lower.
Yeah.
Once you have your fixed costs set, if you bring in a whole nother business, the fixed costs don't have to change that much. You still have your space, you still have your warehouse. Some industries, obviously, you need more space or more employees, but generally, a lot of the employees that were in that other business, you can fire them or go to Swift Staffing and find them a new job. And, but you can cut a lot of salary because you already have somebody in the back office, you already have a bookkeeper, you already have a secretary, you already have all of those key positions. And so you can cut a lot of expenses from that business, keep the actual fixed expenses the same while bringing your revenue way up, which obviously brings your margins up, your bottom line up. And great way to grow.
Nice, very interesting. Okay, so in a lot of businesses, the owner is very, very involved and he's a regular employee in the company. Do you think that such a business is eligible to sell? It's worth? What do you think?
It's definitely eligible to sell. It switches up the valuation a lot because that owner is worth a lot of money because he is the business more than the business being the business. I would recommend, and this is a great thing to do, reach out to us at Swift Acquisition and we could kind of give you, as Kenzie was introducing earlier, kind of an exit strategy, a 10-year plan. You don't have to sell today or tomorrow. Or
that is interesting. The company should be worth.
Exactly. You should always be thinking about an exit one day, whether you're 60 or you're 70, but at some point you should be thinking about an exit and you should be setting up your business so it's the smoothest process possible. And obviously if an owner is so involved and he's running every single aspect and he has his hands in every pie, selling it to somebody else who's going to have to either do it himself or find someone to do the same job as an owner is going to be very difficult. So it obviously makes it a lot more difficult. The new owner might have to bring in 2 or 3 people to replace you because it was your baby and you're the one who's going to get all involved and do every single aspect. But it's definitely a sellable business still. The valuation will definitely change. We'll probably go down in value a little bit. But yeah, I would recommend that owners kind of start delegating more tasks, trying to run the business without actually being involved as much so that they can be ready to sell one day.
Right. They should work on the business, not in the business.
100%, 100%. Vision and structure and stuff like that. But the actual day-to-day tasks that could be done by someone else should be done by someone else because, it'll make it easier.
Nice. Okay, so let's start with Kenzie. If let's say I want to sell a business, I want to buy a business, why should I choose you? Why should I choose Swift Acquisitions?
That's another great question. So the reason why to choose Swift Acquisitions is because we have a lot of connections in so many different industries. We've been staffing so many different industries from healthcare, from construction, from everything that you can think of, we've been staffing. So we know a lot of business owners and a lot of people who are in those industries dominating who would probably want to acquire a business or even sell a business. So again, the next thing is the trust. We've been doing this for many, many years. So a lot of people know Swift Staffing.
The name Swift says a lot.
Swift says a lot, certain names just speak for itself. So at the end of the day, people know what we're about. They know the integrity behind the company. They know the character behind the company. And they know, most importantly, the quality behind the company. So I feel like those are the main points when it comes to choosing Swift Acquisitions over other companies.
Nice, I love it.
Appreciate it.
Okay, Shimsher, you have something to add?
Not too much. Kenzie summed it up very nicely. We have a great reach in the market, in these businesses. Mayor has been running Swift Staffing, dealing with so many business owners. He knows a lot. He has great networks. So a lot of people that have shown interest in buying. It is a community that's underserved in the space. The Heimish community never really had a business brokerage that was able to talk to them deal with the Heimliche
Right.
numbers. That's a real thing, Heimliche numbers. And therefore, we feel like this is an underserved space, the Heimliche community, a lot of great entrepreneurs who've started great businesses and don't even realize necessarily that this is something that's possible, that they can sell a business, and maybe they would pass it down to their kids, but their kids don't want to go into this industry and they don't realize it's something there. They don't feel comfortable dealing with, any business broker off the street that doesn't understand their way of life, their styles. And I think that we can really help them. We can make them feel comfortable. We can get their books in order with them. We could find them a nice Heimliche buyer with Mayor's Network and get the deal done.
Nice. What other services do you provide as a Swift Acquisitions?
Yeah, so anything in regards to your business, it's a full service company, so we can help service you in any way. So one way that a lot of people, a lot of business owners are looking for are investors, which we also provide. That's an additional service.
So anyone that has a good idea and a business plan?
Exactly, because there's a lot of great ideas, a lot of business plans that are lucrative and are bulletproof. And they just need the funding to get it started. So we will find them an investor and get that going for them. Now also too, if they need a managing partner, that's where Swift Staffing comes in. And so again, it's anything in regards to business. Swift Acquisitions, Swift Staffing works hand in hand to bridge that gap
to build
and
businesses.
make sure that you guys are happy.
Very nice. Okay, so how do I reach you?
Yeah, so you can reach me at info@swiftacquisitionsgroup.com. Or you can reach out to Shimshon at swiftacquisitionsgroup.com. And yeah, you can find us all over. You'll pretty much be seeing us all over social media as well very soon. So you won't miss it.
Great. Okay, so by the way, so where are we now? I see that there's a beautiful gifts and everything. Yeah, explain.
Yeah, so the wonderful place that you're at right now is actually at Swift's company meeting. And the reason why you see all these beautiful gifts, all these, great, delicious, kosher foods is because we believe in appreciating each and every single recruiter that works with the company. One thing that's very important is to give appreciation. There's an acronym, I forgot the I, but there's an acronym that went, every single person that works for your company needs to survive with air, right? And one of those things was, the one that stood out to me the most was appreciation. If you're appreciated, you're gonna feel like the company actually does care about you, which is, in fact, very true. And at the same time, too, it's going to incentivize you to, continue with what you're doing, feeling a part of something bigger, feeling a part of something that you actually, that actually cares about you, is extremely important. So that's what you see going on today. It's going to be a great, great day. It's going to be very informative. We're actually going to be introducing Swift Acquisitions today. So pretty excited about that.
Okay, so I guess that is one of the secrets to the success of Swift Staffing.
That is the secret. Treat everybody like family. Treat everybody like a brother and sister, mom and dad, cousin or nephew, whatever the case is. But you just want to treat people like family. That's the most important thing.
Nice, okay. It was nice meeting you.
It's a pleasure.
Enjoy.
All right.